So this Android is trying to be like an iPhone. Look at the pin notes. Dynamic island for fraction of the iPhone's price. Well, for the price, this starts at 999 Malaysian ringgit in Malaysia, 30,000 here in Nepal, and it is slightly expensive in Europe, like 269 euros in Italy. Well, this also looks really good. Look at this green leather texture finish. So should you buy this iPhone like Android draped in elegant green leather? Well, watch our video to find out. This is Almost Retro and you're watching Take Click. Well, if you are here for dynamic island like this peel notch over here, magic capsule what Honor likes to say, you will be disappointed because this works for like couple of apps, voice recorder and then timer. Well, also for call background. Except for this, there is no use of this magic capsule. Forget app notifications. This does not have animation even for battery charging information. Like Honor missed an opportunity here clearly. But wait, this peel does have a 50 megapixel front camera with a dedicated flash, and the front camera is actually good. It feels like as if I'm taking photos from the rear camera itself. There's good amount of detail, the face tone is good, the color, the dynamic range is also nice, but it does struggle a bit in SDR scenarios. The photos look a bit soft in this case. Well, what about low light selfies with the flash? Well, the flash does help a little bit. The face gets decent amount of light with the flash, but I wouldn't say it's extraordinary. But what's extraordinary is the video quality. So the front camera captures crisp videos even though it is limited to 1080p. The color looks good and it also has a wide point of view, but the stabilization is not there. You can see the camera jerk even with slight movement, but except that the front camera is really good for the price. Now moving on to the front, the 108 megapixel rear camera is above average, to be honest. Good colors, good dynamic range. Photos do look sharp, but if you zoom in, you'll notice that photos lack contrast and look a bit soft. Also, the photos do look slightly overexposed, but I'm being a bit nitpicky here. Well, moving on to the ultra wide, the 5 megapixel ultra wide camera is below par. Well, what do you really expect from a 5 megapixel sensor? Nothing much. The macro lens, well, it is non-essential, but a subscribe to our channel is essential, and also hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss our contents like this. Moving on to the videos, if you move, the video is not really stabilized, but that's because it has a wider POV than most phones at this price. We compared it with Samsung A15 just to be sure. You will see jerks while walking and it gets bad if you start moving quickly. However, the sharpness, exposure, colors and overall quality is really good for a 1080p 30fps video. So for the price, you can easily get an 120Hz refresh rate AMOLED panel these days. Well, the X8b does have a 6.78 inch AMOLED panel, but this only has 90Hz refresh rate. The actual quality of the panel is nice. The colors are vibrant and the refresh rate optimization is also good here because navigating around the phone and social media browsing feels smooth, and also the 1200 nits SBM makes it quite comfortable to use it under direct sunlight. Likewise, you also get 30 to 40Hz video dimming with UV line certification, circadian night display and all of those display features that are quite handy these days. The other thing that's really nice about this display is the bezel. So it really has slim bezels and the symmetry looks almost symmetrical from all of the sides. This is actually well designed. Good job, Honor. Well, and it gets better if you turn around the phone with this leather finish with lychee skin pattern. Like, it looks gorgeous to be honest, and this set of green is hot. Not a huge fan of this camera island over here, but the matte finish does make it better. The frame is body colored, so it looks good and nice. Also, this phone feels really light and thin. Like, this only weighs like 166 grams, and in hand this feels like nothing. The ports and buttons are standard here. So we have a volume rocker over here, a power button with fingerprint sensor, and it is fast and reliable. On the bottom we have USB Type-C and a speaker. So this has a single speaker configuration, and the speaker is average to be honest. It is loud, but the clarity is not there. Likewise, on the other side there's SIM card slot with 2 nano SIM support. So everything looks fine, but Snapdragon 680 chipset in 2024, not impressed. Well, combined with 8GB of RAM and 512GB UFS storage, this phone feels surprisingly smooth for a 2-year-old chipset. Navigating the phone and opening apps, switching between the apps is quite fast and smooth. So for normal use, this phone is good, but for gaming, it's not the case because this chipset is not powerful enough, and it is apparent in our benchmark test as well. It clearly falls behind some of the popular chipsets like the Dimensity 6100 Plus and even the MediaTek Helio G99. In a gaming test, X8b managed an average FPS of 35 in Genshin Impact. This game was tested at low graphics and 60 FPS frame limit. There were frame drops, but it is playable. Similarly, PUBG Mobile can be played up to SD graphics and high FPS setting. In smooth graphics and ultra FPS setting, the game was averaging 39 FPS with smooth gameplay, no frame drops whatsoever. So this one can play games, but it is not the best in terms of price to performance. You can get much better performing phones at this price tag. With a slim body like this, it only has a 4500 mAh battery, which is not bad because I was almost getting 6 hours of screen on time with this in moderate use case. And also it gets 35W fast charging support in the box. The charger comes with the box, and it takes around 1 hour and 10 minutes to go from 0 to 100%. Now we come to software experience. Android 13, Magic OS 7.2 out of the box, so it's sad that it's not Android 14 out of the box. And this device is also not listed on the supported device for the beta of Magic OS 8, and there is no clear roadmap for the software update and OS upgrades of this phone. And this is the only doubt over this budget phone from Honor. Except that the software experience has been good so far. Well, the camera app was lagging when you first used the phone, but a huge update has fixed that issue somewhat. It still does feel a bit choppy. So the Honor X8b, the design is just fire. It looks so good, feels so good on the hands as well, luxurious. Well, talking about the cameras, good rear cameras, very good front camera. Well, performance, I would say average because not really cut out for gaming and software updates. Well, that's the only issue, but overall this phone is really good for the price. Take leg.